I did hear that there are not so many developers in the room. If my head count is correct, then we have 2 of them, right? We had 2 previously. But you know what? For the next 20 minutes, what I want you to do is that I want you to imagine that you are not developers. You are going to become the no-code developers, or citizen developers, as we call them in Creatio. But, this is, by the way, the topic of my presentation. But, as the greatest ever magician Houdini said, the question is not how you're going to do that, right? The question is when and why. And today, we're going to start with why. So basically, why do we believe that no-code is such an important and bustling matter these days? Well, because as you can see here, our demand for automation is growing, and the delivery capacity is really limited these days, because we only have 25 million of developers available globally. And you know what? I do have a tricky question for you. So I have a ball here, and I really want to give that ball to somebody who can help me guess the next metric. Question. According to McKinsey, how many applications do you think are going to be developed, business applications, are going to be developed within the course of the next 3 to 5 years? How many apps, guys? Give me the number. 10,000, okay. Anything else? 1 million, okay. Anything else? Pardon? Millions. Oh, that's very vague. You know, be precise. 5 millions. Give me more. Come on, guys. Don't be so shy. Give me more. Who said 50 million? Okay. Well, there you go. Sorry. Oh, I lost another one. Thank you so much. I still have a couple of questions. Well, actually, you're very close, but you lost 1-0, because it's going to be 500 million of new applications that are expected to be delivered within the upcoming 3 to 5 years. And I think that, you know, those numbers, they don't really match up, because we only have 25 million of developers. They need to develop 500 million of applications. I mean, no man can do. Develop, maintain, sustain, you know, deploy. So the way that no-code solutions and the no-code technology offers is basically to enable the knowledge workers like yourself, like myself, like the Ailleron team, to work and create the business applications for yourselves, because you know your business, you know how it works, you just lack the technical skills. And why we believe this is essential, it's also due to the fact that, guys, you know, the times are changing, they're always changing, but particularly now, we're transferring into the new era. We were really happy to exist in the previous eras of monolithic and cloud architecture that basically enabled us to work from anything, anywhere in the world, anytime, which was, let's face it, it was wonderful. But we're transferring to the composable no-code architecture that enables us to partner with technology. And it's really, really, really important these days, because we do have our demanding customers, right, who are at the center of everything we do, I imagine so. And with our customers, speaking of what they want, specifically from the banking center these days, well, we can say that definitely customers expect personalization from their bank. They don't want to have, you know, those robotized messages. They want to have 76% want to be addressed by the first name. 42% of our customers consider the trust to be the most important factor, right? Not the investment rankings, not the scorings that you have, not the amount of customer portfolio that you have, but, you know, this feeling of trust that you build with your customers. And of course, they want to have a good, the vast majority of them, 93%, all of them want to have a good customer experience. And this is a crucial role that technology plays for them. And we believe that what we not only we, but generally speaking, the no-code technology can help you with is that it can help you become a technology institution. Because basically, well, everything depends on it, right? Your business depends on it, your employees embrace it, and of course your customers demand and need it. So if we want to prosper, we would like to say that, well, you know, it's really important to invest into the technology. And why it is important to invest into the no-code technology? Well, because it's different. It has a different schema of delivery of things. So as we can see here, this is the schema of things delivery with traditional development, right? So we have when we speak of traditional development, it's mostly custom coding and packaged applications. The second ones are low in terms of flexibility scale, right? And with custom solution, of course, world is your oyster, but the thing is that with custom solutions, it takes business weeks, months, and years to deploy them, and then, to make changes in them. Whereas with the no-code development, where we hit is this sweet quadrant, right? So we're basically at the good spot in terms of time to market and delivery, and of course, in terms of flexibility and the ease of use of the application. A few examples to support my claim. So basically, as you can see here, the average time frame for delivery of the no-code project, starting from low and then getting to the medium complexity, depending on the amount of data that you'd need to have imported and the amount of integrations you'd need to have, would vary, but it would be 5 to 6 months tops, which is twice as less as what is required with the custom development. Another one, basically in terms of resources, no-code development requires 5 times less resources from you as an organization than the custom development does. Finally, no-code allows to have a few other benefits on top. Except for being faster to start and faster to finish, it also allows you to improve the alignment between the different types of stakeholders. So we're going to talk about that, and I also have one other bowl, so remember that, there's going to be questions. But it's also about the increase of the agility, because with no-code, the beauty of no-code is that how fast it can be adopted. If you have an idea to change a business process today, and you come to me with it today, well, tomorrow I'll be able to show you the prototype, because it's, it's just I make the changes not with code writing, but rather with dragging and dropping the elements. And in terms of, again, those are the metrics, but they basically support the claim. Again, it's about the shortened development time, it's about the lower TCO, it's about the obviously lower maintenance costs, and of course the higher user adoption rates due to the fact that solution is extremely flexible and could be adopted by even for an acquired taste. So, how do we get started? Well, unfortunately, I don't really have a magic trick for this one. It is those 10,000 hours, right, that you need to invest into anything in order to succeed in something. So basically, it all starts with, doing the theory, and it all starts with learning the grips. So basically, here is an example of the guide. It's a no-code playbook that was, published some time ago. It's actually available on Amazon, and we still do I think we still do have a couple of hard copies, so you're more than welcome to pop by our stage. Yes? Was that a question?
Hard copy for me. Thank
you. Okay, go find us after the presentation. I only have a bowl, but thank you. We'll bear that in mind. So basically, it's a practical guide that has 12 chapters that basically explain from the very beginning how to go ahead with the no-code development, how to turn your organization into the no-code organization. Strongly recommended. Know it by heart. Then, if I were to wrap it up for you, because I understand that you're all busy people here and you may not have time to read the book, right, the hard copy of the book, then I'll start with the few main phases of the no-code lifecycle. So basically the first one is design, then we have go live, and as you can see, I have another bowl. So I have a question. Can anybody guess the third stage? Improve, okay. Anything else? Use and? Estic? Testing. Measure. Wow. Do it again. Maintain. Anything else? Innovate. Okay. Well, I think that this answer was the closest one. Woo! Because the third stage is everyday delivery, right? And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So, in terms of design, Well, we start with the business use case drafting, ensuring that we have, the dedicated people working on the drafting, ensuring that we highlight all the nuances. Then we go into the option analysis to ensure that we're doing things in the most optimal way, right? That we're not reinventing the wheel and that we're using the prepaid, for instance, or already pre-built integrations or connectors to ensure that we're not building anything from scratch. Then we go with design and prototyping. Important. With no-code development, you don't have to design, to do a proper UI and UX thing. With no code, with the wireframes is enough, because later on you just assemble the solution via the components and the blocks that are already there and pre-built for you. And then you go into the project assignment, you do the racing metrics, and off you go into the next stage, which is obviously go live. But of course, go live consists out of a few key steps itself. So it basically consists out of the, firstly, prototype to MVP, right? So we've wireframed our solution. We kind of assemble it through the blocks. We make sure that our minimum viable product or minimum lovable product goes live as fast as possible, so that we jumpstart this feedback loop, because we need to gather continuous feedback. Once we release an MVP, basically one of the pillars of no-code is that you communicate directly with users and you ensure that you can even set that up as an automatical process of feedback collection on the platform to ensure that you continuously receive, updates on the performance of the system. Interesting. We're going backwards. Why are we going backwards? Okay, and then you need to also go through the governance checks, ensure that your application matches all the compliance, and security standards that there are, and go into the first release, the full-scale release, not the, the MVP release. And then you go ahead with the continuous delivery. Again, one of the pillars of the no-code technology is that you basically are constantly rolling out the updates for your solution once you get the feedback, right? So feedback, assembly, release, and this is just, this is the hyper engine. And basically you make those small incremental improvements, right? Like in that book, like in Atomic Habits. Do you remember, has anybody read that book? Oh, wow, okay, more than developers, thank you guys. So I'm with you here. So basically, do you remember the story about the British cycling team that used to be the worst before they started making small and incremental changes in their regular training and, basically performance to win in the Olympics of 2008. They basically, they just started wearing lighter, more aerodynamic suits, like, a few grams lighter. They started sleeping a few minutes more. They tried, exercising like 15 minutes more on a daily basis, and it got them 3 golden medals on the Olympics of 2008. So it's about making those incremental improvements the samely with your development, and ensuring that you have a continuous everyday delivery, and of course that you conduct the continuous audit and the performance. You track the performance of your application so that you eliminate the unnecessary steps or workflows if need be. So, in terms of methodology, of course we have to follow a methodology, right? Because otherwise we just wouldn't be able to sustain it. So firstly, it's prototyping, right? Instead of traditional design, we save time on that. It's accelerated time to MVP to ensure we go live as fast as possible. It's the new role of developers, again, no coders, right? So it's a different term, and it's a different team that it forms. It's a fusion team with the everyday delivery, but we're going to talk about fusion team in just a minute. And what we'd like to focus on also, which is also really important, it's about the delivery models. Again, they're a bit different to what we normally have with the, custom development, right? So we have firstly the model of do-it-yourself, which basically means that no-code technology enables you as an organization not to depend on a vendor, not to depend on somebody to supply you with a package, with a developer, with a certain incremental change that is needed, because all of this is based on a team sitting inside of your business unit. And then this team can go and become a center of excellence, right? So basically a center of excellence, this is, like the in-house unit that can help you organize and coordinate all of the no-code applications that you have within your organization. So it's a bigger, kind of institution. And of course, the Fusion team. Fusion team, this is a term also, well, we talk about that more in our playbook, but basically it's a term that ensures that you have this is a multi-power team, right? You have the stakeholders from IT and the stakeholders from business working together on deploying your no-code application. So basically, it streamlines the collaboration between those, well, often misaligned users and ensures that, IT can deliver what business needs exactly when business needs that, not, tomorrow or in 3 weeks. And basically, also important to add on the no-code center of excellence. Basically, it is important because, well, it saves a lot of time for you. It saves a lot of resources for you, and it provides a lot of, independence for you, which means that, no matter what happens to your implementation partner, to your deployment partner, to a supporting partner, it doesn't really matter for you because you're completely self-sufficient. You have your own center of excellence. So, in order to conclude, I know that this has been a lot of information, right, to digest within 20 minutes. And again, I do think that in Playbook we have more, but, well, we have more time to read it. So basically, I want to summarize everything that we have talked about during the journey, during the beginning of the journey for the no-code citizen development. And I want to start with the 3 core principles of no-code development, right? So firstly, use no-code to gather the requirements and prototype on the fly. Do not spend a lot of time, this is one of the core principles, on design, because it gets assembled later from the different components, different tabs, and different icons that you have as a part of ours or any other no-code solution. Secondly, everything that can be developed with no-code, well, should be developed with no-code. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't rebuild the pre-built integrations, reuse the templates. You can even reuse the apps. I mean, we have thousands of examples where the already existing workflows can be transformed, like the B2C into B2B and so far. And thirdly, deliver to end users as fast as you can, obviously, so that, the end users are always in the loop. You can, force and stimulate this feedback loop, and you can ensure that they get the solution they need as fast as they need. With this, I'm wishing you a very happy no-code journey.